Hello, everybody. Welcome. Hello, hello. If you can hear me, please come to the live chat and let me know you're here. If you can hear me, please come to the live chat and let me know you are here. All right, I see a few people joining us. If you're on Patreon, please click on the YouTube logo at the lower right corner of the video to join us in the live chat. Let's start with data review. I'm going to share my screen here. Great. Dow Jones closed flat, Nasdaq flat, S&P 500 flat. Russell 2000, however, is down 1.6%. Russell 2000 is a small cap index, down 1.6%. As you all may remember, Russell 2000 is not the top 2,000 companies. S&P 500 is top 500, but Russell 2000 is complementary to Russell 1000. Russell 1000 is the top 1,000 companies. Russell 2000 is the next 2,000 companies. So together, they comprise Russell 3000, which is the total market index. Hi, Steve. I see Steve is saying hi in the live chat. Thank you very much. Hello. All right, let's go down here. Adobe is up 14%. I wonder what happened today. Adobe announced earnings yesterday after hours. So you can see here in this chart, Adobe declined in the last few months. It had not participated in the AI craze in recent months. And you can see in the last earnings, the stock dropped quite substantially. So today's price action up 14%, kind of made up for the last 3 months after the last earnings. All right, yield curve down to 3 basis points for the 10-year treasury yield. You can see right here in the lower right corner, 30-year treasury yield is down 5 basis points. Interesting. Thank you, Win2, for letting me know you're here in the live chat. If you're on Patreon, please join us in the live chat by clicking on the lower right corner of the video. Perfect. Import prices, export prices came in much lower than expected. Let's click into this macroeconomic data. So you can see on your screens today, this week's macro data. CPI came in much lower than expected, indicated by green here. 0% the headline, 0.2% in the core CPI figures. PPI on Thursday came in much lower than expected as well, negative 0.2% in the headline, and core PPI was 0.0, much lower than the expected 0.3%. And today, import-export prices came in much negative. Powell indicated he kind of singled out import prices coming higher than expected in recent months. So today's data point is actually contrary to what Powell said. All right. Another thing to note here is initial weekly claims came in, they jumped 242,000. You can see right here. Initial weekly claims for unemployment benefits came in much higher than expected, 242,000. This is in line with what we've been talking about in these after parties about weakening employment market really accelerating. So the Fed is going to take note of this. This continuing claims trails initial claims by 1 week. You can see that here. So initial claims are for last week, the week ending June 8th. Continuing claims is for the week ending prior, okay? So next week, we should see this tick up even further, which was already a tick up from last week. So there is an acceleration in the weakening of the employment market, all right? So let's see how all this data impacted the CME Fed Watch Tool today. I'm going to share my tab here, switch the tabs. You can see this on your screens. If I scroll down here, The probability of a rate cut for July meeting increased to 15%. The probability of a rate cut in the July meeting increased to 15% from 10% yesterday and 8% in the week prior. This is because of the inflation data coming in much weaker than expected, continuing to come in much weaker than expected in the CPI, PPI, import export, as well as yesterday's initial weekly claims. So the risks are shifting from balanced to, I think markets are starting to worry about an acceleration in weakening of the employment market. Tomorrow, I'm going to send out a macro weekly update for value patrons and above. In this macro update, I try to word things as the Fed does. So I'm going to try to basically get in the head of Federal Reserve and Jay Powell specifically, and point out how things are shaping up. New data is shaping up for inflation and employment, as well as there's a section on notable calls, meaning what people are, what the people I'm following on the macro analyst account are saying about the economy, what they're predicting, and also sentences from Fed speech. So I think it's a very important, underrated weekly periodic updates. Highly recommend people to upgrade to value patron. All right, let's look at a few things here. What we talked about today. I'm going to switch to just the value analyst. There we go. People are generally positive about the meeting. I don't think we got anything new except for the $20-25 trillion valuation target that Elon put out. Steve is asking if Michael showed up to the space today. Michael asked a really good question on at the meeting yesterday, but even Elon said that's a really good question. He didn't come to the meeting. I'm guessing he's traveling still, so he'll probably join us Monday. When Michael Climate Yupa shows up, we'll ask him to give us his kind of overview of the shareholder meeting on Monday. 76% of shares voting in favor of Musk's 2018 incentive package. This was very similar to what we got today announced. I think it's 73%. Vanguard, Tesla's largest outside shareholder, voted in favor of Elon Musk's $56 billion pay package. This was surprising because this is against proxy advisors' recommendation. So Vanguard, a passive index firm, voted for Elon Musk's package, and obviously that made a huge difference. Today was a very, pretty much no news kind of day. NVIDIA is pushing higher. NVIDIA is now up 45% in the last month. NVIDIA stock is pushing higher. NVIDIA and Broadcom have been performing well in the last couple of days. The rest of the market, not so much. University of Michigan consumer sentiment came in for June. This is June preliminary data. First data point for June came in much lower than expected. So there's some kind of widening concern about the health of the economy in the second quarter. On the other hand, in the same survey, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment Survey, 1 year and 3 year inflation expectations picked up. So this pushes the Fed into a corner a little bit, something to watch. I highly recommend people sign up for the Valid Patreon and read the macro weekly updates. Omar is positive about 12.4.2, hopefully rolling out this weekend. We're looking for a dot update and then a wide release sometime in the coming weeks for 12.4. Dan Holm sent a letter to shareholders today. In summary, here's the letter in front of your screens. Kind of skimming this real quick. As for what happens next, this is the crux. We have filed the paperwork necessary to reincorporate the company in Texas following stockholders' approval for this proposal. And we are now proud to call Texas not only our business home, but also our legal home. With regard to the 2018 Performance Award, we believe the ratification of the award and its decisive approval by our stockholders confirms our commitment to the deal. Our stockholders and Elon made in 2018. We intend to put it back in front of the court in Delaware to ensure that your voices. So they're going to appeal. So they're moving the company to Texas and they're going to appeal the decision. That's the next step. Any other questions, comments, please put in the live chat. Adam Jonas said he was surprised by the Texas vote. He can't find a precedent. He says few precedents of this happening. And then, as you can see on the screen right here, there was some talk about 10 Tesla vehicles carrying out tests in China from downtown to an airport, but this has not been confirmed at this time. I'm guessing this is maybe testing of an FSD, a robotaxi service, but with drivers in the driver's seat. This is just my guess. It would be surprising if China moved faster than US because a lot of the training data came from US at this time. I believe, and also there were some rumors of a Cybertruck being ordered and delivery set for a non-foundation Cybertruck being ordered and delivery set for August, September. This would be in line with what Elon said. And this would drop the entry price for a Cybertruck from $100,000 to about $72,500 after the EV tax credit. So something to kind of keep an eye on over the weekend and next week. If there are no other questions, we're going to keep it short and sweet today for the after party. I believe these after parties are a good way to get a quick summary of what we talked about in the X space, as well as macroeconomic data. Tomorrow, I'm going to send the macro weekly to valid patrons, and that Sunday, I'm going to send Tesla weekly with updates on resale values for the vehicles, as well as FSD and Tesla inventories by model to patrons, Tesla patrons and above. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.